So many golfers I have taught in the past could not stop slicing the golf ball until they made this one simple change with their grip. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome to Get Good at Golf. On this channel we aim to help you get good at golf just one day at a time. Today we are helping you get rid of the dreaded slice. Now this could be with any form of club in your bag, it could be with your irons, it could be with your hybrid, your 3-wood. Most of the time it is the driver. You will find that mainly the slice occurs with the lower lofted clubs, the 5-iron, the 4-iron, the hybrid, the 3-wood, the driver. Today we're going to look at with a long iron, and so often people say, well, if the ball is slicing, if the ball is going right, then the club face must be open. And yes, that is correct. It's going to be open to not only the target, but the path. The big key here is we are going to talk about target, we are going to talk about the grip and how you hold the golf club, but we're also going to talk about how that marries up to your swing path and how you can stop slicing the ball once and for all. Now, if I grip the club with a weak grip, now what is a weak grip, you ask? I see a weak grip as being a left hand too far over, too far round to the target, so that makes this forearm a little bit too relaxed, and I see the right hand too far on top, so you'd see too many knuckles with my right hand looking at face on. You'll see that also brings my elbow a little bit over the top here. Not only is that going to make sure that the club face is open at target or at impact, so if I make a full swing now and come back to impact, you'll see that club face is wide open because my hands want to neutralise. You'll see the grip with both my hands there. The V's are pointing straight at you because that's what my hands want to do. They always want to return to a square position. So if that is open, that is going to make sure the ball goes right. We marry that with an out to in swing path, which if this right arm is turned over a little bit too much, that's generally what you'll see. And the ball flight is a really weak high slice. This is the most frustrating shot in golf because not only is it a weak shot, not only is it a really high floaty shot, it robs you of so much distance and accuracy. They're two of the key things that you want when you're playing golf. You want to be able to be fairly accurate and you want to hit the ball as far as you physically can. So one thing that a lot of great players do is just hold the club a little bit stronger. So by that I mean the left hand moves over, you can see more knuckles in my left hand if we're a right-handed golfer, and less knuckles in the right hand. That's going to allow me to relax this forearm. We spoke earlier about the relationship between the club face and the path, and that allows me to set the club a little bit more inside. As I make a full swing now, you'll see that as I get down to my impact position, that club face is nice and square. I'm pushing the handle forward, I'm trying to get a nice descending blow on that. The hands have neutralised, but because I've rotated the body better and got the handle forward, it's a nice square club face, and you're always going to get a much lower, much more penetrating, much straighter flight just by making sure your grip isn't too weak in both the right and the left hand. Guys, Chris is now going to talk through swing path to help you eliminate that slice once and for all.
So guys, James made a good points there. Obviously talking about grip, it is making sure that we then match it up with your path. So if you change your grip, and again we could get this left hand a little bit stronger, which we start to see, yep, that'll get your club face a little bit more square, not open. But then we see sometimes people do it with both grips. So they go strong with the left, weak with the right, and then that's really going to make it very hard for you to set the club. We can't really use the levers as we want to, and then as a result, we're going to be losing speed coming down into the golf ball. We don't have as much control on the club face, we don't have as much control on the path, and that's what we need to talk about. So if you do change your grip and we get it a little bit stronger, so this left thumb is on the right hand side of the grip, we can now see 2 or 3 knuckles. That's a good reference point. And we make this right hand, again, the thumb really just sitting in the middle of the grip. We can't see any knuckles on that right hand. But from there, that is going to encourage us potentially then to start to close the face, which is great if you're a slicer with a golf ball. It's going to get potentially rid of the right hand side of the golf course, but it could then bring in that kind of position down at the golf ball, which is then going to send us to the opposite side of the golf course. We're now going to hit golf shots where it's going to come off low, it's going to come off left, and we're not going to get the desired shot we want. So yes, we've got rid of the slice, we've now got a hook, and how many times me and James hear people say, as long as I can get rid of the slice, I'm happy to hook the golf ball. You shouldn't be happy with either, yeah? We want to make sure that we've got a controllable shot. Yeah, perfectionist. They want the 0.0. But we can't get that. So what we want to do, if we're going to change that grip, we want to then start aiming down the right-hand side ever so slightly. So we know it's going to potentially turn over a little bit from right to left if you're a right-handed golfer. So as a result, we can start to think about that. When we go through your routine, you want to be behind the golf ball, picking something just to the right of your target. So a perfect example is here. if the target was the black trackman sign, I'm going to aim just to the right at the orange trackman sign that you will see out there. That's then going to encourage the ball to start to the right, and if we get the shot shape correct, it's going to work to the left. So again, I would set that club first, then I will take my grip, make sure that's correct, and then from there we should be able to hit the desired shot that we've set up for. So that nicely drew back towards my target. Again, we might potentially then square it up, or we might just leave it a little bit out to the right, but if we're only aiming 5 yards right, we shouldn't see too much curvature on there. If it overdraws, we're going to go maybe 5 yards left, which is still more than definitely in play. If we push it, we're going to go maybe 10 yards to the right. But again, that is in play. If I start to get somebody who's going, okay, I'll set my club a little bit right, but I have been turning it over, so I'll aim a little bit further right than normal. Everything now is out of sync. The club doesn't know where it wants to be. We hit a shot here. That's now drawing back. But because it started 50, 60 yards right, that still stayed right. It didn't turn as much. And again, when you get into the longer clubs, when we get to your 4 irons, this is a 6 iron, but when we get to your 4 iron and we get to your hybrids, the golf ball is going to move more. We've got less loft on the club, so it's going to put more side spin on there. And that's why you see probably the club that you slice the most is the driver. So if we make massive changes, if we over-exaggerate, we're going to see a lot more movement from that. So we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it. We're focusing on that grip, we're setting ourselves a target, we're coming to the driving range and practicing, and then from there, we're able to play the shot we want. We get rid of that slice just from a little grip change, but we have to change our stance accordingly.
So guys, a really well explained tip there from Chris how to stop slicing it, but what if you do change the grip like we're saying in this video, but you don't change anything else? You see, a slice generally comes from a golf club working a little bit from the outside to in. We've all heard of coming over the top. I'm not a massive fan of that phrase because you can slice a golf ball a different way, but if your swing path is coming a little bit across the ball, obviously if all we're going to do is strengthen our grip, get that club face a little bit shut, then we're just going to hit pulls, we're going to hit snap hooks, we're going to hit all the shots that you really don't want to hit. So it's really, really important that you do think about that swing path as well. Obviously what Chris has mentioned there with the setup is really going to help that. If we stand really, really open here and I have a really, really strong grip, you'll see that I can actually just hit a really low kind of shot straight to the left-hand side there. That's not the shot we want to play. If I was to have my normal weak grip on here, which is why maybe you're watching this video, that's the shot I might play, because I might go, you know what, I'm sick of slicing it, I'm sick of hitting it out of bounds right, I'll aim a little bit left, and I know with my weak grip, I can hit a shot that just kind of fades back in. Now the problem with that is I've hit a 5 iron 130 yards, and people are going, why is your 5 iron going 130 yards? Surely you can hit it further than that, and that's where this video really should help. Because if I strengthen that grip now, move my alignment around like Chris has said, this is one key thing that we need to be thinking about to make sure that we do hit straighter golf shots. On the way back, I'm going to take the club back so that the shaft's nice and parallel to the ground, the club face is nice and square to my spine angle, and from there, set the club up to the top of the backswing, and on the way down, feel like I just flatten that shaft plane off a little bit. You'll notice how it's not coming down steep, it's not working over the top as we mentioned earlier, but if I can just keep my hands a little bit closer to my body, you'll see how that shaft plane's just going a little bit flatter. Then from there I should be able to, even with a strong grip, start that ball to the right, and as Chris did earlier, get it to draw back a little bit like that. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it does help you get rid of that slice once and for all. If it does, make sure you get in the comments below and let us know. Apart from that, we'll see you all exactly the same time tomorrow. Bye.